So like that. Wait, what? Just put us outside like dogs. Yeah, well, it's how I get dressed and get ready without having y'all to watch that or something. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Is gonna giving us pork buns to shut us up. Hey, I'll give y'all pork buns to shut the hell up about that. Okay, how about that? Yeah, no, that's right on. Oh, we all have one? Oh, yeah. Got them big buns, I cannot lie. It's the thing they can't deny. Or what, something that goes like that. No, do it there. Somebody leave. Before I totally got set up, I wanted to at least have these bad boys warm me up a little bit first. Torque for us. I'll do this for a dance. I could do that for a dance instead. How about that? Like I haven't, still have them. Yeah, I still have them. I mean, I've only been using them like for this winter and shit for the most part. Your good news out of Colorado. Yeah, I heard about that. I know what you're about to mention. Ah, fuck. Hold on. Ah, my nose. Hello, Munchkin boy. Munchkin boy. You bounce, bounce. You bounce, bounce. Bounce, bounce. What is bouncy boy? Oh, shit. Oop. There we go. Bounce, bounce. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Burp. Burp. Let's look at this old wheelbarrow. Booty booty. Booty booty. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh my goodness. Bounce, bounce. Oh, yes, he said. He is a big booty boy and just a sweet little thing. Oh, blah, blah. Oh my goodness. He's so silly. He's a little freak. Look at you. Oh my gosh, look at that little face. So what's going on? Playing around with Doggle. And let's talk about Colorado, because Mel was asking if I heard about Joe Miller getting disqualified on the Colorado ballot. Apparently, so now it's like he can't, like no one can vote for him there. Which, you know, honestly, I'm kind of a little like, kind of okay with in a way. I mean, dude probably, for all legal purposes, should be disqualified, but whatever. Alright, and a cover, because I know I got one in here. There we go. That shit was on it. Did I forget to bring them? Did somebody forget the... Ah, shit. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, we're good. I was about to be like, I know I had them last night. There we go. To nip his re-election chances in the bud. I don't really think that's going to happen, though. The thing is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a challenge to it, and, you know, someone's going to, you know, be like, nah, it actually is unconstitutional to do that, and it's back on a bot and whatever. Also, that, and I don't think Colorado is a very influential state when it comes to elections, period. So I don't really think, you know, it matters one way or the other if Colorado, out of all states, were to do that. I think it'd matter a little bit if it was, like, California that did it or something. Or, like, fucking Texas or some shit, but Colorado, I mean, it's kind of a funny meme. It's a meme, I suppose, but, I mean, it doesn't have a significant influence one way or the other. Would hurt him significantly? Not... I mean, it depends on what you qualify as a blue state, because there's plenty of states that Joe Biden is overtly at risk of losing, which he barely won in the first place. So it's like he like narrowly wins, you know, a lot of these different swing states and shit, and a lot of these states are supposedly blue that he should have won easily, but he barely nicks it out. So it's just like, what the fuck's with that shit? Like, evidently, there's obviously, you know, some sort of, some sort of, like, obvious lack of, choice and abilities with, like, what people are, you know, galvanized for. It also just shows that, like, how much of a fucking failure the Democrats really are on this issue. Because, like, you know, they're not gonna, you know, take this as an easy fucking, you know, slam dunk dub. Because it really shouldn't have to be hard. It's literally just because of geopolitics and the fact that he still hasn't really, like, significantly changed much of what he's promised to change and all that type of shit. You know, it's one of those things where it ends up being like, well, like, what the fuck? It's just literally a repeat of 2020 and 2016 aesthetically. Aesthetics and the energy of 2016, and you got, like, the same motherfuckers from 2020. Great. Is Nikki Haley that much better? I mean, was saying even Kissinger would support disqualifying him? Ooh, Trump? I mean, maybe. Though, to be fair, like, I don't think Kissinger gave a fuck one way or another. He probably legit, unironically, couldn't give a fuck about Trump outside of, like, you know, like, his decorum. As long as it's public decorum about when it comes to United States interests, because the United States, as Kissinger said, has no friends, nothing but interests and enemies. That's what the United States government has. So it's like, when you have no friends, but nothing but interests and enemies, basically, then, you know, Trump, according to Kissinger, is nothing but just a smaller interest to the global American hegemony, basically. And if anything gets in the way of that, then, yeah, he's going to be against it. But I don't really think Trump fundamentally is against, or Kissinger is fundamentally against Trump. Not that it matters. Kissinger's surprisingly now finally dead. But, I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, he doesn't give a shit. Like, honestly, Trump, why do I keep mixing the two names? Kissinger, honestly, I'd argue, wouldn't really give a shit. And I honestly think Vosh is being a little silly, trying to assume what that fucking fascist, monstrous fucking demon Kissinger has to think about shit like this. It's like, it's pretty presumptuous to, you know, to think, you know, what, you know, or to, like, to assume what he's thinking. Or to what he would have thought. Yeah, notice these links on. What's going on here? Gear pass. Oh, well, I'm just gonna slam dunk all that food right now in my gullet. What's this? Brownies? Nice. It's brownies. They look good, too. Thinking right now, and it burns. No, he's thinking, the fire feels nice on my cold old knees. Oh, the fires of hell, you'll feel pretty nice on me old cold hard knees. He's probably thinking that. It's the first time my knees have been so loose after being in a wheelchair for about 2 years. Even Jokoliers announced that J.K. Rowling finally bigoted enough that it's okay for kids to read about witchcraft. Okay, that one's funny. Oh, man. All the onion. Never change. Never change, onion. Unironically, though, I bet that's actually true. I bet there are some, like, evangelical, like, religious weirdos that probably are like, yeah, JK's okay now. Even though back in, like, you know, the 2000s and, like, you know, early 2010s, they all thought she was, like, you know, a peddler of witchcraft and Satanism and Wiccan arts and whatever the fuck. Oh, no, I'm on the bed, Rose. Rose, after many hours in this universe to find all super saying God for my character. Yeah, I literally don't know what you're talking about. We need brownies. We need weed brownies. We need the edible brownies. The dankest of the brownies. Here, so it was like a little fun thing we could look at for tube. What's a funny thing? What memes doth there be? Good on them. I usually, for human affairs. What's mom? She's doing alright. I mean, I need to, like, you know, have a new rule for a little bit. You know, honestly, about, like, when it, you know, about, like, you know, like, money situation shit, but other than that, she's, you know, doing fine. I know why a little bit, because, you know, I mean, obviously, she's just trying to, like, you know, get, you know, some, bills, back pay, paid off and shit, but it's just, like, can you let me know first, or at least wait until, like, Sunday or something? Because, I mean, you know, I'm just sitting here just, like, with nothing, you know, just because it's like, you know, she needs, you know, some of that shit for bills and stuff, and it's just like, motherfuck. So at least leave me a little cheddar here. I mean, it's my money at the end of the day. Especially with this trip coming up. I'm just like, am I gonna have at least something? Well, it needs to be paid. I mean, yeah, obviously it does. I'm just, yeah, but considering I know at least some of it's, you know, back pay to an extent, and honestly, most of it's paid off anyway. Need a little cash. No, it's Wednesday. Like, I get paid tomorrow. So, no, it's like, money-wise, it's not honestly just like an issue, at least at this point. It's more or less, you know, when it's like Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, where I'm just like, because Wednesday I can, you know, rough it out for that, but, and honestly, like, you know, food-wise, like, I'm fine. It's just like, every now and then, I'd like to make sure I have at least a little something just in case. Because the last time I was at the bar, like, I only had, like, $10 on my account, and I only had 3 drinks, which isn't expensive, but that's, like, $16 or $17, so I was, like, a little short. And luckily, because I've been there so often, and I tip really well and shit like that anyway when I normally am there, they were just chill about it. It's like, all right, well, I know you come by every Friday and Saturday, so we'll just, you know, hold on to it until, like, Friday. I'm just like, cool. So, at this point, I'm just like, eh. I've been honestly kind of thinking about that for, like, you know, this whole week. Just thinking about that, to, you know, for the most part, because I'm just like, son of a bitch, I want to make sure I get that paid off before I leave for Texas. Because if not, that's going to be a little, shitty, where I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not going to come by next week at all. I have, like, 5. Yeah, that's pretty much just, like, where I'm at right now. like $5. Like I had, because the other 10 I used a little bit of that for, getting some ramen and coffee and stuff. So used a little bit for that and just been huffing and puffing it. But, I mean, like $5 in easily, I can make that work out for today or tonight, but even I don't really need it. I got some food, got a little bit of snacks. Well, actually, I might need that $5 for like some tea. Okay, so everything's like Spotify to save money. Yeah, I need to actually, I think, do that myself. Mostly with not really with anything much. The only things I'm, like used for like subscription is basically the YouTube Premium bullshit and then just like the TFF Patreon. But I know there is at least a couple other things that I can, cancel out and be like, I don't really need to be doing this for now. Because, yeah, every little dollar could, definitely, save up a lot. Especially with how shitty things are expensive. Should give me your Xbox? Me? But still play on it. I mean, I can't right now because I don't really have internet here yet. But, I mean, at least in the meantime, it's like as soon as I do, I'll be able to have access and play it and shit. It's just that it's lame how, like, a lot of consoles and a lot of games, you have to be online to even log in and connect to that fucking game and shit. I'm just like, bruh. I'm sitting here just like, bruh. It's like most of these games are single player, and it's like, why do I have to be online to play this fucking thing? It's like, son of a bitch. And I feel like, honestly, like, a lot of the games I probably could play on single player and offline, but, like, the problem is you have to, like, log in online on your account on Xbox to even, access that shit. So it's just a pain in the ass all around. It's just stupid. They patched that a while back. Patched that out. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, some games literally had it built in to be that way. I mean, hopefully, I guess. I haven't bothered trying, for a while, so I guess I'll have to figure that out. I guess it's not really going to matter, because, once it's Saturday, I'm going to be going to Texas for a little bit. I feel like that would be honestly not as bad if I didn't realize I had to be sitting around for my more crazier aunt. It's like the chill aunt is gonna be hanging out for grandkids and shit, and so I'm basically hanging out with the more crazier aunt. I'm just like, oh fuck, oh no. Because I mean, I don't know, she's just honestly definitely way more of a, like, more Bible thumping and a little extra cuckoo. Like, she's definitely the one who is, like, who unironically thought vaccines were killing people. Like, she unironically thought that at one point. Probably still does. Because my brother told me about that, because he told me a while back when, like, in 2021 or some shit, when, like, the vaccines first came out. Like, I was having a talk with her, and she was like, oh, that, those vaccines will kill you, or blah, 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 and this and that. Like, they're lying about blah, 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 and, my brother's like, you're fucking crazy. It just, like, basically just, like, ended that conversation really quick. It just, like, shut that down, which, good for him, honestly, because I would do the same. I'm just like, no, you're a psycho. Don't even begin to entertain that fucking thought. I don't even want to bother hearing it. Because my respect and opinion will literally just, like, collapse, through, like, quicksand and shit. We talk about my aunt I'm going to be staying with for most of my time in Texas, who's kind of the more crazier one. Like, I have two that I know really well over there. One of them's chill, and the other one's a little loco. I mean, she's still kind of chill, too, but it's like, politically and everything else besides, she's definitely a little bit more, like, cuckoo. At least from the shit I've heard. She hasn't really, like, openly, like, unleashed that to me, which, you know what? I mean, I don't worry too much, because I guess it doesn't really have to, she doesn't really, like, go off about it all the time. But, it's just that worry about, like, you know, what if, like, you know, I'm just there and they just read something and they just pop off about it or something. It's just like, oh, God. You should tell your friend, you're vaccine shedding and give her a big hug and tell her she's now vaccinated. I did that to a conservative friend of mine and he got so pissed. Vaccine shedding? Oh, my God. Goofy little thing. Wait, what the fuck is this? There's some crazies actually believe the vaccine can spread by touch. That's just honestly ridiculously insane. Like, I don't, like, that has never happened ever. Like, no vaccine has ever spread just by merely touching somebody. That never happens. I can miss you, little bro. Well, you never come down this way anyway. That's okay. I mean, I'll still probably make at least like a video or two, or, you know, maybe see if I can stream out there. You know, if there's at least enough of an ability to do it. I know last time I was there I did, but it was kind of shoddy because, like, it's literally in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I was kind of relying on their Wi-Fi for it. So it's basically going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to, like, you know, maybe at least, you know, take a little break on that type of shit. Fucking money for gas sucks. Dude, money for just, like, anything at this point sucks. I mean, it's like, dude, the bread at, like, you know, Safeway at this point, like, at my work is just straight up, like, you know, like, at cheapest, they think, like, $5 a loaf. And on average, it's more like $7. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, it's bread. Like, eventually, if people legit just can't even buy their bread, literally, then, you know, like, and I wasn't even mentioning it, including in front of the customers, like, if people can't, you know, if it gets to the point where people can't even afford bread, like, straight up, like, you know, something's gonna give, and you know, and I'll be damned if, like, the average person, you know, ends up having to keep giving, because, you know, these bosses in these companies can, you know, be giving back for all the shit that, you know, they take out of us. So if it doesn't have an in-store brand, yes, it does, which I think that's on the cheaper end, but it isn't really that much more cheaper, unfortunately. If I had money, I would come down. Yeah, I mean, you know, if I just had money, I'd be doing more shit, too. I'd be calling in today. I'd be like, you know what, I'll come back Thursday when I'm not so drained. It's my 7th day in the fucking row, and, you know, just because of my little vacation trips, it's like, couldn't you at least just do 3 days off or something? That'd be nice. $2 great value bread. Oh, and I'm sure it's so processed beyond belief. Here, I want to pull something up. Because I found it funny. Seriously. Hold on. Oh my god, you goof. You just had some food. And this is like mostly filled up, and now you're just like, I want more. Stretch. Stretchy stretch. Let's see, dog. Yeah, I'd like you to at least, you know, when you have an opportunity to come back down here. Maybe we'll see if we can, you know, when I come back. Just spoil that doggo. Oh, yeah, this doggo needs to be spoiled. Constant spoilage. You know what? I want to spoil y'all amusement. You know about the globe lady? Globe. Everywhere I look, there's just, you know, mama, there's globes. Globe, 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 globe. Globe. Globes everywhere. Globe. This lady's back. She's still butthurt that people are mocking her for, her globeness.
Said that it was globes everywhere, there's propaganda, but it's the truth. And you know how many people who don't believe in flat earth, they believe that we're, in a solar system. They reach out to me, they're like, Candace, you know what? You're right. I have been looking in stores and there are globes everywhere.
Globes everywhere.
Globe toys and there's globes in the decorations. And you said that on your show and people thought you were crazy, but it's true. Why are they pushing the globes? And I said, well, I think it's because of NASA wanting to spend billions of dollars a month. But they try to say that I'm crazy because I said that, and they still go on my social media and my comments and they say, are you seeing globes everywhere, Candace? Are you seeing globes? I'm like, yeah, I am.
Oh my God. It's like, I got these people now saying it's like, you're kind of a little crazy, but it's like, am I crazy? No. It's like, you're all just push globes everywhere. This is globe. It's like, mama, there's globes everywhere. It's like globe toys. There's, globe pictures. There's globes everywhere. Dude, I love this chick for just how cuckoo she is. Shout out to Georgia for just bringing forth this amazing specimen to us all.
You just listened to a rant from Republican lunatic Dr. Candace Taylor, who's responding to criticism she received after she essentially came out as a
doctor? She has a... What? She has a doctorate? In what?
Earther on her podcast earlier this year during an interview that she had with someone named Flat Earth Dave. Now, Candace Taylor has become my new favorite lolcow, so I would encourage you to watch my other videos of her if you haven't seen them, but for those...
And also, I actually am familiar with Flat Earth Dave, because every now and then, the dude Modern Day Debates will sometimes, bring on, Flat Earthers and have, scientists or anti-flat earth types, that overtly take time out of the day to deal with flat earthers. There's another dude called Fight the Flat Earth specifically that will that basically dedicates his channel and his YouTube career basically doing that. Hence his name. So it's I'm familiar with people like Flat Earth Dave and shit. There's a few of these weird flat earthers and shit. And honestly, I kind of have a feeling that maybe some of them are grifters, but Flat Earth Dave, he's not. He unironically just straights up hella leans into that shit, because I'm pretty sure he genuinely believes it. Center to center right, and I'm kind of leery of him. And it's fine. I mean, he's he doesn't really push his politics a lot that much. He usually just lets everybody else do that. I mean, so, I don't know. I mean, he's okay. It doesn't really strike me as somebody who's some centrist or center right-leaning dude, but...
who missed it, this is her breakout rant about her dumbass globe conspiracy theory.
Is it or not? I don't know 100%, but it's just, it doesn't make sense the other way. Now that you see it.
The people that defend the globe don't know anything about the globe because...
Who's this other guy that he has hanging out here? Matt Long? Oh my God, what a weirdo. What is your fucking hair, bro? Why does it look like Bermuda grass dyed brown that you just transplanted on your head? Why does it look like Bermuda grass, dude?
A tenth of what Matt and I know about the globe, they would be flat earthers, because it's absolutely ridiculous.
I can't unsee this. All the globes everywhere. I turn on TV, there's globes in the background, there's globes on there right here. This would be a globe if I was a normal person. I
love that admission. That would be a globe if I was a normal person. If I was a normal person, that right there would be a globe.
Everywhere there's globes. You see them all the time. I mean, it's constant. My children will be like, Mama, globe.
And
that's what they do to brainwash. And so for me, if it is not a conspiracy, if it is real, why are you pushing so hard? Everywhere I go, every store, you buy a globe. There's globes everywhere. Every movie, every TV show, news media. Why?
Now, we finally get an answer to that $1 million question. They're pushing globes because NASA. And since we spend billions of dollars per month funding NASA, that's why they're doing it, I guess. Now,
And also, like, I mean, it's not really... the reason why there's globes everywhere is because we objectively understand and know that we're on a ball. We're on a ball of dirt that is, like, creaming around, the fucking, sun in a solar system. Like, it's not like some disk that's doing that, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty fucking obvious that it isn't. It might not look like that because we are tiny little organisms that are on this gigantic ball of dirt. So when we're on it, just laying on it and standing on it and all this other shit, we don't notice that. We don't really notice that much because, we have a thing called the event horizon. And because we're tiny little fucks, we don't really notice that type of shit, unless we're really, 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 really high up in the air.
Problem with this theory is that NASA's annual budget isn't even half of what it was during the Apollo program, and it only makes up around 0.4% to 1% of our total budget because we've now just decided to outsource our space program to billionaires who build dick rockets. So her explanation doesn't make sense on its face, which is why people are still continuing to make fun of her, myself included, and it's why she's still coping and seething. But after she went viral the first time, a lot of people pounced.
I mean, we kind of do a curve of the Earth as such. Yeah, I mean, there's, the curvature of the Earth. I mean, also, like, ancient humans were able to figure that out. Like, the Greeks were able to understand it. Like, the Greeks were able to calculate and, kind of figure out that we were living on a sphere because they decided to, do some different maths and shit like that. Like, I think it was because some dude did experiment by going to, like, Alexandria, then Athens, and then, like, one other city. 3 different, big cities at the time. And, he did, like, some basic little tests and realized, like, hey, there's some differences in comparison to the average day here. Even though it's pretty minute, there's a difference here. And thus, I was able to conclude that we live on at least some sort of a spherical thing. Now, the math was a little off, but at least the general foundation of, like, what we was reaching for was true, though. Like, once we able to have the technology and better comprehension of our understanding about things like that, we're able to more accurately, see the size and shape of the Earth and shit. And even then, like, it's not a pure sphere. If you actually look at it, like, if you were to take all the water out of it and shit, like, it actually almost has, like, a very minute, tiny, like, pear-like shape. So it's like the bottom of it's pretty round, but the top of it almost kind of, like, has, like, this little, like, not full curve, but it kind of, almost does, like, a little tip thing. It's still, like, rounded and shit, but it's hard to explain. Again, it's, like, almost, like, very, like, if you look at the size of a pear, but, like, flattened it, to be almost round, that's almost, like, what it'd be like.
Stupidity, including comedian,
if that makes sense.
Erskine, and Candace Taylor saw the parody that she made about her, and she was not happy about this. So here's Blair's parody, followed by Candace Taylor's response.
I'm not a scientist because that is a made-up job, but I know that the Earth is flat, okay? Because if the Earth was round, why would maps be flat? That, okay, and people would be like, well, if the Earth is flat, then what about night and day? I don't know, let me think about it. Maybe because the Earth is double-sided and God flips us over when it's time for us to go to bed and flips us back over when it's time for us to wake up.
Bitch, what? No, dude, this is a parody. No, this lady is doing a parody of Candace Taylor. She's different. I promise you she's different. She's a different lady making fun of Candace Taylor. This is not her. This is a parody.
My husband, use your brain.
Yeah, use your brain, Rose.
If it was round like a globe, everything would be falling off of it. All the oceans would be dripping down it like ice cream, okay? Unless the Earth is a DQ blizzard where nothing falls out. But even then, sometimes things do fall out, and they do have to give you your money back. So that doesn't really make sense to me. They're trying so hard to make us think the Earth is a globe. I see globes on TV, globes at my children's school. I saw a globe at Hobby Lobby, a place of worship. Hobby Lobby. There was a globe.
A place of worship.
A normal person, there would be a globe behind me, but I have a rotary telephone that's not hooked up to anything, so Bill Gates can't track me.
I've never said the Earth was flat. I've never said that I was a flat earther. Never, ever, ever have I said that. I did not say that globes were fake. I never said that. What I said is
that there's like potentially a conspiracy of NASA pushing the globe agenda, which implies that you're a flat earther. Yeah, you never overtly said it, but you implied it with what you were saying.
NASA taking billions of dollars every month of our taxpayer money.
Man, wait until she finds out about the military-industrial complex. Dude, I wish, like, NASA was, like, some secret complex. I mean, like, goddamn, like, dude, imagine if, like, NASA just got twice as much funding than what it had back in the Apollo programs and was just, like, maintained it from there and said, all right, we're just gonna fucking just hyper-invest this shit, and nationalize these, space companies and, morph them into NASA and, and just, like, triple fucking NASA's funding, basically. I mean, that would, one, be base as fuck, and two, imagine the shit that we can do with that. I mean, because if the Apollo program was basically done with twice the amount of funding that NASA has now, I mean, I guess if you, account for inflation, I mean, then imagine what we could do with 3 times that. I mean, honestly. I mean, it's like, but yet we put literally, like, hundreds upon hundreds of billions of dollars to the military-industrial complex, hundreds of billions of dollars to the prison-industrial complex, billions and billions upon dollars, to, the, like, fossil fuel industries and shit. But, there's, like, a couple billion that goes to NASA, and there's, like, an agenda behind it. It's like, oh my god.
Funding something that we do not see any progression in. If the Earth is a globe, which we've always...
We'd be in fair space race by now if NASA was funded at the same levels as the military. I mean, honestly, yeah, probably. I'm willing to say that's debatable, but I'm willing to lean on the idea of, like, we would probably have, like, proto-spacefaring technology to where we're actually, like, unironically, about to colonize Mars, within, like, the next 5 years shit. Like, I mean, if honestly, if that was flipped around almost, like, yeah, you goddamn right, we would probably have, like, like, probably commercial space flights by now. Like, unironically, like a 2-hour trip from, like, New York to fucking, like, Beijing or some shit, and you cross the Atlantic in Europe and Asia to do it, just because you took a quick little space flight instead. I mean, probably cost a lot more, but shit, I mean... like, that would still probably become more viable, like, by that point. Or at least by around this point. Possibly. I mean, I'm willing to at least debate that, actually. Because, because honestly, if we were to heavily invest into NASA and shit, or even nationalize these, space companies, like with, SpaceX and, fucking, Blue Origin, all these other companies and shit, like, and, morphed them into NASA and then, like, tripled the funding of NASA, like, the shit could get done, and it would be amazing what could probably get done. I mean, a lot of these projects and a lot of these, like, theoretical things wouldn't necessarily just be theories and shit. They would actually be put to the test and shit like that. Because I guarantee you a lot of reasons why we're still kind of, like, limited on what we're able to do so far is just because we don't have the money to actually invest in shit like that. We rely on rich billionaire cocksuckers, who just want to have party barges in space, to do it. And they don't give a fuck about that. So it's like, I mean, you gotta get rid of the private sector of this shit if you actually want to see progress when it comes to space technology. Like SpaceX, fucking Blue Origin, like, these companies ain't doing it. They're just doing it so they can have, like, more money to fuck around in space, and that's literally it. They don't care. I truly believe local system space travel will be possible. I mean, at least, like, that's the one thing I will agree with. Like, well, kind of. Like, I don't think warp travel is impossible, but that's gonna still be in the realm of theoretics, for quite some time. Even with what I'm talking about, I don't think we would see that anytime soon. Hopefully. I mean, I do think, it could be a theoretical possibility. I don't think it's impossible, but but is it implausible? For now. I mean, we might be able to have, technological breakthroughs that might be able to, open the door to that. But at least for now, yeah, we ain't going to be able to do that anytime soon. Because obviously, like, the Roman Empire wasn't close to space travel and shit, but, look where we are now, right? So sometimes humanity might take a long time to get to a certain thing, or certain breakthroughs, right? So, I don't know about fully... And not just return. It takes excruciating training for astronauts to prepare for space. We're talking about long-term travel for a lot of people. Just won't be cut out for it. That's true as well. I mean, I'm sure, like, as like, the technology's progressed to the point where, like, if people for, like, a few $100,000 or whatever the fuck and, like, have a weird space trip with Bezos or some shit. I mean, you know, I'm thinking, you know, like, the technology for, like, the capsules and shit. And obviously, I still think you have to go through some level of training, you know, despite that. Like, from my understanding, nowadays, it's a little bit more safer and easier to potentially have people that initially, back in, like, the 60s, for example, who wouldn't be cut out for it, you know, might be able to now. I mean, I don't know about all the intricacies about it, but considering that you had, like, fucking William Shatner, you know, go into space, I mean, it's like, I feel like the technology and, you know, about, you know, around that has changed a little bit to where it's more safer, but I don't know.
Earth is a globe, and we believe that.
Didn't William Shatner have a breakdown when he went to space? I don't know. I mean, I don't know about, maybe he did. I probably would, honestly. Like, you're in space, you see space, and you look outside, and you're seeing the fucking, like, you know, cosmos, you know, from just right outside of your little home ball planet, and you get to, like, look at the planet that you're on. Like, I mean, that would fucking hit you in the feels, dude. I mean, it's like, I would probably break down and be like, holy fucking shit. I broke down when I saw a fucking eclipse, like, you know, back in August, like, a couple years back. Like, back in, like, 2018 or 2019. Like, because, you know, seeing all, like, the solar flares and all the crazy shit and just kind of, you know, just the cool phenomenon itself. I mean, I didn't, like, break down, like, oh, my God. I was just, but, you know, there's definitely some, there's a couple tears going down that cheek. So while you read other people's short stories, but not mine, I see how it is. Wait, who? I've read his short stories. When you send them to me? What? Oof. What if... I love when it's gonna be robust. I've got to read a short story when humanity... oh, okay, so you're... Yeah, okay. Illustrations so it's all on you in life. And no, clear out planets. So it's allegory for what's going on in Palestine, or at least that's what the vibe I got.
Why do we see globes on all the TV shows, on all the movies, and all the stores? Why are there globes everywhere? Why? Because it's propaganda. It's propaganda. For us to be okay with NASA spending billions of dollars of our taxpayer money to fund whatever it funds. That does not mean that I'm crazy. That does not mean that I'm unethical. That does not mean that anything that a radical, liberal, psychotic girl in Atlanta who did a parody on...
Liberal, psychotic girl.
She did a parody and she said, oh, we can flip the earth upside down and have day and night. I would never have thought to say something so dumb. Completely idiotic.
Well, you've been pretty close to that, and I'm pretty sure that you've thought about it, at least.
Her, not me. And people that say, oh, this is you, no. Look at my lips. She had on red lipstick, but she does not have a full front top lip, and I told her that.
Like, I mean, she's now doing, like, some weird-ass, like, thick girl phrenology. Like, what is this shit? Dude, conservatives are so weird because they'll literally, like, start nitpicking, like, weird traits about you, you know, being like, oh, see, you know, like, you know, this ain't me, or this isn't, you know, but some bullshit, because look at this crazy liberal, you know, I mean, look, they don't even got, like, full lips like I do. I got, you know, that good dick suck of lips. Those liberals don't. It's like, what's that? What?
She don't have the lips for it. She looks nothing like me, praise the Lord. And she writes...
Yeah, she kind of does.
For Saturday Night Live. She has a fake Southern accent. She's an Atlantean. She doesn't sound like me from South Georgia. And she's trying to. But it's not me, people. It's her. It's Blair. Her name's Blair. I don't even know her last name.
So don't you dare mock her conspiracy theory, okay? She's not a flat earther, contrary to popular belief. She just thinks that globes are part of a propaganda conspiracy created by NASA to brainwash us into believing that the Earth is a sphere. That's all. Okay? Nothing flat earthy about that, right?
Definitely not.
She's definitely not a flat earther. No question about that. I think she's being honest when she says she's not. You might have noticed in the first clip that we watched, which is the most recent one, that she brought back Flat Earth Dave. And you might be wondering, well, if she's not a flat earther, why does she keep platforming flat earthers on her podcast?
I mean, I don't even... Is it her podcast? I thought she was like a guest on Dave's podcast. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter either way, but yeah, I mean, that's like another aspect about it. It's like, I mean, you keep inviting this fucker back. Like I said, at least the second time. It's probably been more than once, or more than twice at least, you know? So it's like, I mean, what the hell? It's like, you're going to say that, like, oh, I don't believe it's flat, but I'm just going to talk to some of these flat earthers and say why there's like a conspiracy about a globe agenda. It's like, oh, okay.
By the way, is titled Guns, Jesus, and Babies, or Jesus, Guns, and Babies, either way. But you might be wondering, like, why, if you're trying to get rid of this label, why would you keep bringing back Flat Earth Dave, of all people? And she actually addressed that in this episode.
So I have a show today. Y'all are going to be so impressed that I did this show. I did an interview again with this guy because I made the Rolling Stones twice. And then AJC multiple times. It went viral. You know, they've called me a flat earther. All this stuff. Didn't want me to get elected to the GOP because they said I was crazy. But I will interview whoever I want to. This is America. So welcome to David Wiles back to my show. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you, Candace. And I want to say the Earth is not flat. It is a topographical level plane with hills and valleys and mountains and
What? So it's not a flat Earth. It's a topical plane. Oh my god. They're trying to upgrade their fucking bullshit, dude. Oh my god. They're trying to upgrade it now. They're trying to, like, you know, riz up some new buzzwords and some shit, you know, to, like, you know, be like, oh, see, look, we're not, no, okay, look, I know you all think we're, you know, flat earthers. Look, we don't believe it's literally flat, guys, okay? We believe it's a topical plane. It's like, what's the difference, you dipshit?
But water tells us that the Earth is level.
Gee, I just can't imagine.
No, it's not. Oh my god, dude. That the way it's, you can't be fucking. Oh, oh my god. Oh my god, I can't. I think I actually just felt some brain cells just genocide themselves. Like, I think I just felt like mass apoptosis in my head. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, let's just, like, forget the concept of gravity. Yeah, let's just pretend that doesn't exist. Like, I actually feel like I have a headache now, like, right here in the corner of my head. I think there was legit, unironic mass apoptosis and a bunch of brain cells just died. I think I probably just lost a massive amount of intelligence from that.
Anyone would think she's a flat earther. Now, in case you were wondering, no, she didn't challenge his flat earth rhetoric. Shocking, I know. And it's because she is, wait for it, a motherfucking flat earther. She's a flat earther. You can say that you're not a flat earther, but if you keep doing flat earth things and saying flat earth...
Look, see, I'm not anti-vax and stuff like that. I just have some criticisms and just, about, like, what that stuff is, and I just don't take them. But look, it's okay, I think it's fun, but, I just have some, things to say about it, and I think there's a whole goddamn agenda that they're trying to do about it and stuff like that, but, whatever. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, guys, I promise. It's like, it's the same thing there. It's like, if you're basically saying the same shit as, like, what an overt flat earther or an overt anti-vaxxer or whatever the fuck, saying, even though you're not overtly calling yourself that and explicitly saying that yourself, it's like, you're still that. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. You can't tell me that's a goddamn mongoose.
Things, I think that it's not uncharitable to put you in that camp. It's like the right-wing grifters who say, no, I'm actually a liberal, or I'm more of a centrist, when they say nothing but right-wing propaganda talking points, and they exclusively attack the left. Think Tim Pool, think Jimmy Dore. So, yeah, I don't think that it's unreasonable to say she's a...
Yeah, I don't hate kids. I just think they should all be homeless and starve to death.
Because she's a flat earther. But ultimately, if you cut to the core, this is her main belief.
Anytime we get this conversation brought up, some people are passionate about it being flat. They're passionate about it being a globe. But then there's...
passionate about it being a globe.
Like me and other people, which I believe in creation. 100%. I believe in a firmament. I believe in creation. I believe what the word says. But we are like, I don't really care either way. I believe in Jesus.
I love how she's trying so hard to...
Wow, the fence-riding religious thump. It's like, I don't give a fuck one way or the other. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. It's like, I mean, so, you know, you don't care about, like, the reality or some other fantasy, whether, you know, one is true or not. You just care about a fantasy, one, you know, fundamentally at the end of the day. It's just, oh my... Dude, Christians are fucking psychotic, man.
That's it. So she appears more reasonable, but still ends up looking insane by expressing support for creationism, which means that she believes that the Earth is like 5,000 years old or 6,000 years old at most. I mean, there are layers here to the stupidity.
And also, like, they think it's at 4 points, which means that there's at least a flat Earth if they believe that the world, you know, ends up, you know, like 4 different points and corners, right? Like, so it's like even in the Bible it mentions that it's like supposedly, you know, kind of flat too to an extent, even though they always try to cherry pick the fuck out of it, be like, nuh-uh. It's like, actually, it's more metaphorical. It actually means this, you know? It's like north, south, east, west, and then, man, like north, south, pole. It's like, it's like they try to fucking, like, you know, downplay with that, and it's like, yeah, bitch, you really think, you know, people from, like, you know, this, like, fucking, like, Stone Age times gave a fuck about, like, you know, that shit? Because guarantee you know they didn't. Like, I mean, they, like, I mean, you're really gonna think they, you know, had it as, like, some metaphor for, like, a globe or some shit or whatever the fuck, or, like, whatever weird, like, walk back, cherry pick bullshit you want to try to spew? Like, give me a break, come on.
Now, you might be wondering, Mike, there are literally millions of Republicans across the country with idiotic views. Why all the focus on Candace? And it's because she's not just any ordinary Republican. She is a GOP leader who is in a position of power and influence. Not only is she the chair of the Republican Party in Georgia's 1st congressional district, but she was a gubernatorial candidate in Georgia's 2022 election. Now, thankfully, she lost by more than 70 points and only got 3.4% of the vote, but
ouch.
By that, she still refused to concede and claims that the election was stolen from her.
You lost by such a tiny margin, you can't even make that excuse. Oh my god.
Even gained the support of...
That's embarrassing. That is unironically, like, the most embarrassing. That's honestly more embarrassing than Trump.
Election deniers like Mike Lindell, who tried to bolster her claims. Case in point.
We have preliminary evidence that Candace Taylor...
He's Crackdale owns.
...single vote that Kemp got...
Or Crack Lindell.
Got their votes, and then Candace got 5% back. Now, these are all through all the precincts.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a Republican...
That didn't sound coherent at all. It's like, yeah, so she, you know, they brought back these numbers, and it's like, for all the, you know, precinct stuff, and, it's bad. No, it's definitely not a crack again.
War going
definitely didn't relapse.
National and state levels, and at the state level in Georgia, people like Candace Taylor are trying to move up in the ranks to cleanse the party of rhinos, like their governor, Brian Kemp. I
mean, honestly, I mean, like... I kind of believe that, you know, she's just doing it as, like, at least at some level, just to get, you know, recognition, you know, especially within the Republican Party. Like, I mean, she knows what she's doing to an extent. The fact that she keeps kind of egging it up a little bit makes me believe that she knows what she's doing to an extent, and it's just doing it so she could try to rise in the ranks and be, like, another Marjorie Taylor Greene, basically. Like, that's a UFC fighter being roided out, still gets his ass clocked and accuses the other guy of using roids. Didn't that, like, happen at some point? Like, there was, like, a UFC dude who was, like, a Trump supporter and shit, you know, and said something pro-Trump before the fight, and then literally, like, within one punch got clocked, and then, you know, proceeded to, like, say that, like, you know, it was actually a rigged fight or something like that. I think that unironically happened recently. Which doesn't even make sense because the UFC is very right-wing, you know, when it comes to his fan base, the people in it, and shit like that. So that doesn't even make sense, but whatever. Oh, God, I love the right. They're just crazy, aren't they? What that? They're definitely 100% more upsetting individuals. Definitely not insane at all. Anywho. Gotta get myself to work and all that fun shit. Yeah. Well, at least after this work day, it's just one more day. One more day, then. Vacation time. I like how I'm looking forward to Vegas way more than Texas. Even though I'm having a layover there. at least I'm gonna make most of that shit. So anyway, I'll have to work on all that phone shit. So, that being said, and I'll see y'all on that next one. So, until you, big crew.